the duality of Goro Akechi. Akechi has unironically become one of my favorite characters in Persona 5 Royal due to stuff that is extremely spoilery. You know what I'm talking about if you finish the game. But without further ado, spoilers for the entirety of Persona 5. And obviously there's some stuff in Royal. There's going to be a separate section for Royal, like always, just because I know not everyone played through Royal. I didn't for a long time. Took me about a year. So, yeah. Royal has its own separate section at the very end of the video. So, everyone who hasn't completed the game is gone now, right? Good. Okay, I'm gonna be honest. Despite what the thumbnail says, I'm not talking about the Detective Prince. I am actually talking about a serial killer. But it's one of those things where if I want to talk about a character who's a twist in a Persona game, I have to do my best to avoid saying who they are in the title and thumbnail in case you encounter it without knowing, and then just immediately put a spoiler warning. But yeah, I'm talking about the Black Mask, not the Detective Prince. But, like, just due to how the Black Mask Akechi is written, he is genuinely one of my favorite characters. Pancakes. I don't want to hear that word for a long, long time. Like, the thing is, he is so quotable in Royal. Obviously, I'm not avoiding Royal stuff. But he's quotable. It's great. So let's start with the whole Detective Prince thing. Yeah. Akechi is... And the thing is, he isn't even the only character in the series. I've only played 2 Persona games. 4 if you include Persona 5 Royal as a separate game. And also Persona 5 Strikers as a separate game. But I've only played Persona 3 and 4, and he isn't the only character in the series like this. I swear to God, if this is a trope of the series, I honestly will probably enjoy it, but I highly doubt anyone will be done better than Akechi. But why do I love Akechi so much? It is extremely simple. He's great. Obviously, there's a lot more reasons to him, which I'll link in videos again, like I did about Futaba, since I'm not as informed on that stuff. Actually, it's by the same person. If you like in-depth analysis on Persona characters, I recommend checking him out. I linked them before. They'll be in the end card, and hopefully an iCard if I remember, and also a link in the description. But that is not all. Because Akechi and his identity as the Detective Prince solving the crimes he commits is such an interesting dynamic. I'm going to just quickly run over the Detective Prince. I really don't care about that part of Akechi much. It's really bland. It's generic. It's good guy detective. Really good guy detective. Obviously, again, Persona 4 also has that trope. It's done really well. It's done well in Persona 5 because Akechi is frickin' insane. And I love it. But yeah, basically, Akechi does all this to get back at his father, because, yeah, Shino's a horrible, horrible person. Honestly, I think every member of the Phantom Thieves has beef with him by extension. Like, Obviously, Joker's pretty obvious. Akechi's pretty obvious. Futaba, because Akechi killed Wakaba under Shido's command. Makoto Haru, because they were following their people of their main dungeons, were following under the lead of Shido with permission. Obviously, On and Ryuji come down to, because of the principal being funded by Shido, Shido was able to get away with everything. It's stuff like that, really. It's a lot of layers. But it's all Akechi's fault. He is unforgivable. But the thing is that he has so much depth to his character. I actually really like him, and it's an archetype I do not normally like. But he is an insane mass murderer, pancake slinging, Santa costume wearing character. Now the problem is, all the stuff I want to talk about regarding Akechi is mostly Royal spoilers. He has a really big role in Royal. So, let's talk about his personas. Well, two of his personas. Robin Hood, which I love the irony of the Robin Hood of all the personas. The one that fits any member of the Phantom Thieves almost perfectly. Because the Phantom Thieves steal the desires of horrible people. I love how Robin Hood's put on the character who backstabs all of them. I find that ironic. And then Loki. Loki. Who is really different in between Persona 4 and 5. But we're just looking at Persona 5 Loki. Loki is, well, powerful. Honestly, his skills aren't anything to write home about. Obviously, things like desperation. But that's just usual for bosses. Especially when their characters are desperate. In Akechi's case, he is desperately trying to kill Joker so he can get revenge on his father. But Loki, it's fitting. He backstabbed the whole team. He tricked them. Loki is usually portrayed as a trickster. It's quite interesting. According to one of my friends, Loki's actually not the god of mischief and stuff. He actually, looks into mythology and junk. I don't. But apparently it's, extremely unclear what he is, which actually adds credence to the whole mischief thing, because it's well, in all fairness, if you were a god of mischief, no one would actually know what you were a god of. It's kind of like I don't do YouTube, I make YouTube videos, am I a YouTuber? It's kind of contradiction. It's neat. Honestly, there really isn't much to say, but it's, without getting into spoilers for Royal, but it's really interesting, just the personas that Loki got, because they contradict each other so much. The kind-hearted thief, Robin Hood, and a mythological trickster in Loki. Obviously, we're just going to go from the trickster angle regarding Persona 5, as I feel like most pieces of media would just go for the common depictions of Loki, because that's what most people understand. Yes, that was a mouthful. But you have two extremely different characters and ideals yet they work perfectly together. It's the same case with the Detective Prince and the Black Mask. They're such different personalities. The kind-hearted, remarkably role model-ish person of the Detective Prince and the mass murder psychopath who says anything on his mind. Once again, it's so perfect. And it's really interesting that that Akechi has the wildcard ability. He uses it so little, I kind of forget he has the wildcard ability. Like, but he does. He has the same ability as Joker to have multiple persona. Which kind of lends credence to this multiple personality sort of thing. It's a case of he has the true Akechi and then the false Akechi. The one whom is showing his reality. Like, what... I don't know how to explain this. Let's just get into royal spoilers, because that's what I want to talk about. You're just some criminal trash living in an attic. Akechi is... Well, we dive into a character a lot more in Royal. That's why most of this video is going to be Royal stuff. Because Joker, like, it has so much more time with Akechi in Royal. Like, small things some people have pointed out are things such as this is a change in Royal. When you first meet Akechi, he shakes Joker's hand. I'm sure you're wondering how that's such a big deal. It's a lot less common in Japan. You know, where the Persona series is most commonly taking place in. Because, we're just gonna ignore the whole hub world literally being a giant city that actually exists in Tokyo. But that's the thing. Akechi shows a surprising amount of Western customs. Even as confidant in Royal, he actually throws a white glove at Joker to indicate a duel. Plus, just quotable lines. I hate you. I feel like I can just say any Akechi line out of context and I would laugh. Because, especially in like an Akechi voice. You know what, screw it, I'm gonna add like a blooper take of me saying a bunch of Akechi lines at the very end of the video. And just clip that to my second channel too. But Persona, like Akechi here in Royal, I'm sure you're wondering where this is going, has one thing that makes me want to talk about him. The fact that he, in my opinion, is actually a redeemable character. Yeah, mass murderer. Like, again, I don't normally like this type of character. I think he is redeemable, though. Like, just his actions and role, and again, some great lines. Like, for example, here's, like, this is me paraphrasing. I don't have the transcript of the entirety of Persona 5 Royal memorized yet. That's gonna not age well as a joke. But the scene basically goes, we do not trust you. When thieves to Akechi. I could have already killed him if I wanted to by now. Referring to Joker. It's like, yeah. It's like, you did leave us alone for a week. Okay, when I say it like that, just... Great, I just spawned a new ship if it wasn't already a thing. But the thing is, Akechi does some really redeemable stuff. He willingly hands himself in for his crimes. The only thing he really wanted was to get back at his father, who again deserved it. He doesn't like Joker, he doesn't like the rest of the Phantom Thieves. But he does what he deems he should be doing. If that makes sense. It's actually what relates him to his Arcana. And this is a whole video I could make about why Arcanas should actually have their reverse in Persona 5. Especially during a scene. You know what, we're talking about royal spoilers. Let's talk about it here. Just quick. Once you unlock the rest of Kasumi's confidant, once you find out she is Samire, it should turn into a reverse Arcana. She is the Faith Arcana. It's not an actual Arcana, but it should still turn into the reverse Faith Arcana. Because they're usually Arcanas with very similar meanings, but kind of flipped. Let's look at the Justice Arcana, actually, in relation to Akechi, and actually Detective Prince and Black Mask. The Justice Arcana basically means to follow societal justice. What society deems as right and wrong. Hey look, that applies almost perfectly with the Detective Prince. He is solving murder crimes, and he is being seen as the hero of the Phantom Thieves incidents. He's following what society considers right and wrong. Now let's compare that to the reverse Justice Arcana, which basically represents following your own self-justice, what you see as right and wrong. That's what Akechi's doing! That's literally what Akechi's doing as Black Mask. He's doing what he thinks is right. And I just thought of so many characters that applies to in Persona 4. All antagonists. But the thing is, every single character has an Arcana in this game, and Akechi is one of the ones I think applies the best. It's very simple, but it just works. With it being following societal justice and following inner self-justice. That applies to Akechi so well, I'm surprised that he doesn't have an Arcana flip once you find out he is the Black Mask. Obviously, the player might have found out earlier at that point, once, it's confirmed. Akechi has so much in him. Again, I haven't even touched on that much royal stuff. But Akechi just does exist. He does what he wants, and he doesn't care what happens to him as long as what he sees right happens. Here's a massive spoiler for Royal. One confronting Dr. Maruki, when you're about to hand him the calling card, he calls out Akechi. You know I was here? Just a hunch. And the thing is, he pretty much says, you know if you defeat me, that Akechi's going to die. obviously you have the choice to show either, who cares, no one likes Akechi, or, oh god, Akechi. And the thing is, no matter what dialogue option you choose there, Akechi's like, so, we need to stop him, this isn't right. I don't give a damn about what happens to me. Like, just Akechi's willing to get rid of his own life to do what he sees as right. That's kind of why I see him as redeemable. He's doing what he sees as right. I don't think that makes him a bad person. Is being a mass murderer make him a bad person? Arguably, yes. But aside a few occasions, I feel, he was doing what he deemed as most important. What he deemed as the right thing to do. And that's why I like Akechi so much.